Welcome back.
Cheers, man.
Cheers. Ryan Peters, ladies and gentlemen.
Return guest.
Return of an OG.
From the early days. I mean,
I didn't realize that.
I guess I didn't realize it either until we were just discussing it there prior. I mean, that was back in the days when we were live. Like, was that like right in the middle of COVID and all that? Probably. Like,
we were outside, so we weren't inside.
Yeah, right.
And
right.
We were allowed to be outside, remember?
Yeah, we were spaced out.
Yeah, we were very
way
good
over there.
social
You were way
distancing.
over there.
Yeah. From 4 different corners of the patio.
You were probably like number 3.
You're in there early.
What year was
2020.
2020.
We started these in March. Let's see, the pandemic hit, March 15th, and we probably did our first one around the 22nd, 21st, 20th, March 20th maybe. It was within a week, I bet.
Yeah, we did like the mayor, Ted Frazier, the superintendent of schools, and then Ryan Peters.
Honestly, that may have been the exact order.
Yeah, it was, I think.
Yeah, because we did everybody else inside.
Clean up.
You were back in clean up. I mean, actually, it was the first show where like we didn't just talk about like Jackson County's response to COVID. We just came on there and hung out, and it went really well.
Pretty
People
well,
really liked that. Yeah.
I remember that now.
So it kind of changed the shape of the show, actually. Yeah,
Pioneers. Pioneers.
We call you a trendsetter.
Yeah,
Trendsetter.
Right. Kind of launched us down the path, dude, of saying, hey, let's just hang out, maybe drink a couple glasses of whiskey and talk.
Yeah. Well, we had started that. I heard it again. We started doing those videos and those skits.
Yeah.
And we were doing those before the pandemic.
Right.
Pandemic hits. Do you guys remember the pandemic? I mean,
dude, there are days, and I mean, I say this, I think every time it comes up, I'm kind of like, man, let's do that again for about 3 or 4 months.
you know,
Let's do that again.
I thought you'd be a good one to talk about this with anyway. But let's talk about what has happened to society since COVID. I mean, so you're in retail.
Yeah.
You're some. I mean, I would call you like business retail.
Yeah, business to business.
Yeah. I'm in retail.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, tell me, have you not seen a shift in customer presentation, customer, and I'm talking like as the customer, like the customer has changed.
Absolutely.
They've learned a new way of doing business.
Well, I would love to go back to those times when it first started.
Yeah.
We were deemed essential. I worked for a communications company,
Yeah.
so we were.
You were sitting. Remember, they used to deem you.
Yeah, like
That's
I
right.
had
You
the
had to be
letter
deemed
and everything.
essential.
They're
Yeah,
like,
yeah,
if you
yeah.
get pulled over by the cops, you might want to show them this letter. The cops didn't give a shit what you were doing. I
No,
don't
no.
care. You following the laws, okay? So
yeah.
they didn't care. But 1-to-1, like we had our doors locked, so we had someone greet you at the door,
Yeah.
walk you in. So I had, rep, person, customer, and then no one else. So there's no one waiting. If they are, they're in their car. I would love to go back to that style. However,
Very efficient.
fast forward when the restrictions started to come off a little bit, we opened back up to the public on May 1st of 2021. And it was like a holiday. Like people are like, oh, you're open. There's cars in your parking
It was
lot.
Black Friday for you. wasn't
So
it?
they came in, but instantly, the mask thing, it wasn't something that T-Mobile
used to.
said, hey, you got to wear a mask. No, like the governor said, if you're going to go in public, get mad at the governor, not me.
Yeah. I'm just trying to be open.
Yeah, just trying to earn a buck.
Yeah.
But that's when the temperature started to rise.
Yeah.
What's weird is the boomers sometimes tell you that you're an entitled kid and you're a brat.
Yeah.
But if a guy had a video camera
Of that generation.
they flip out.
Yeah.
Like, just completely unhinged. And I'm like, you are someone's grandpa.
Yeah.
Chill.
Yeah.
It's a freaking cell phone. You don't even know how to turn the ringer off on your phone. Pump the brakes, dude.
Yeah.
Dude,
The brakes.
Yeah.
But the temperature of the customer.
Well, I mean, I thought it was amazing. Like when you're referring to that time where like things kind of like opened back up, or it was like a soft opening. I don't know. I think that there was a lack of a uniform, like several companies struggled with that dismount. I think, to the relaunch, and it was varied all over the place. And I mean, it just,
there's still people that are.
Oh yeah. Well, I mean, it changed my business forever, man. I mean, it showed basically folks in the hospitals that they didn't have to take on-site appointments, that you could do these Zoom calls.
Well, but let's talk about where it puts society today. Like today, 2023, what did that do to us today? Like, how has it got us trained? Because I tell you, and you guys both know, what I'm getting ready to start doing, and that was one of the main reasons. Is just because of the customer base versus the time and energy.
Sure.
I feel like now the customer wants everything right now.
Yeah.
And now, what would you say about the boomers and that?
They're just hard to adjust. Like right now, a big initiative where I work is to get, we call them digital ready, get everyone digital ready, meaning that you can get on the app on your phone and you can start to finish. And we want it to happen under 10 minutes. So you get on there, you decide what you want. This is for current customers. New customers would buy from the web or whatever. But if you're a current customer and you're trying to upgrade your device or something,
what I'm going to come do to you.
7 minutes of, from start to finish. That's all the clicks. That's everything shipped to your door. And we're doing it in 2 days and it's free. But people are like, it's.
So I don't have to come see you.
I want you to.
Okay.
Like we don't want to lose. Like there's no way to lose face-to-face retail in where I work. There's just no way because there's too many variables. Activating things and setting things up and backing up, and people get paranoid that they're going to lose things, and there's boomers never remember their passwords.
Oh no.
And it's your fault. Why didn't you remember that, Jason? What's
I
wrong
told
with
you.
Yeah. I don't know what it is. Well, I barely know mine. Okay.
Yeah.
I don't know yours or your wife. So, but the adjust for us is that we know that COVID did change that because we have a traffic counter at our door. So every time the door swings, we know, someone's walking in. And that's how we judge our success in the day is through what we call conversion. So I'm going to convert however many. I want to convert at 10% of the people who walk through the door
Into a sale.
into a sale.
Not a service, a sale.
Not even really a sale because we want to turn that into new business. I want to turn that into, if you're an existing customer, I added something.
Yeah.
So that conversion rate is really important. So we have noticed that our traffic, like during the first part of COVID, was weird for us because Sprint and T-Mobile were merging together. So we had all the Sprint base and the existing T-Mobile base coming to one door. So we probably had, I know there were months in 2021 where Chillicothe had the most door swings of any T-Mobile store in the whole state of Ohio, which is crazy.
Yeah.
We would have 2-3 hour waits. That's another thing too. People would start to lose their mind, but it's like, we can't have you congregating in a store. You know what I mean? We gotta move you in and move you out. So we have this system where, you get signed in and I can literally text your phone and tell you it's your turn. You can sit in your car. You can
go across the street.
Yeah. You can go to wherever you go get you a sandwich somewhere. You know what I mean? Just, we'll let you know and we'll save your spot. So, we'd have 2-3 hour waits, but we have noticed since that we have a drastic decline in those swings because of COVID and also because of the digital readiness. Like we have taught people, it's like
how to be self-sufficient.
How to be self-sufficient, that we're still here for you if you need us. But that part of the business where you're an existing customer and you already know what you want. And to be honest with you, like, that's me. Like if I could buy it and not have to go through the hassle of going somewhere, I mean, it's ideal. That's really the only thing that I've noticed that's changed is just our traffic from then. Even pandemic traffic was ridiculous to now, but everybody is used to that now compared to pre-pandemic, I would say. So, I mean, look at you guys. Yeah. You kind of started this the same way. You just were
absolutely
bored, and then now you're like, oh my gosh, all these people out here that we could, and communicating with who you probably have subscribers from other countries.
Sure.
So
he just had a video got 3.5 million.
Yeah, I saw that this morning, and I love that because I was like, wow.
That's pretty cool.
That sounds like my beach trip.
Yeah. I mean, it certainly wasn't anything profound. You never know what's going to hit, man. I mean,
No.
And I think most of them really enjoy just trolling the shit out of me. Like, look, you fat ass, just sit there and drink beer. That's
did you
great.
see Full Send Dan?
Orphan your kids.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did you see Full Send Dan on there? There was this guy on there.
Oh,
and-
just eviscerating me, man.
Yeah, about how
mean,
he's like, I bet this guy's going to die early. This guy's nothing but, he should be much more productive. This guy, meanwhile, I went and looked at his page. He had stuff of him jumping out of planes. And I mean, I called him a tryhard.
Yeah.
One-upper.
He was always whatever.
Yeah. There are very few men as superior as Full Send Dan.
Yeah. Nobody's beating Full Send Dan.
Yeah.
He's like the Marlins guy. Like the guy at the
I mean,
sporting
this
events, like
guy,
he's-
the man exudes excellence. I mean, this dude is, we should all aspire
To be Full
to be
Send
such an
Dan.
awesome
Dad.
son of a bitch. Yeah.
that sounds like a winter beach trip to me.
Oh,
We're beach people. Like that's
Yeah.
like our thing. But like
Yeah.
my goal is to
Yeah.
walk off the stairs onto the beach at 10
Yep.
and drink all day,
Yes.
pee in the
sea.
in the
Yeah.
Pee in the sea.
And then by like 4 o'clock when it's nap time, you just waddle back up
Yeah.
to the house and go to sleep, take a nap, and do it all over.
Yeah,
again the next day.
yeah.
6 or
It's great.
7 days in a row.
great.
No commitments.
That's what you like. You like that.
Yes. Yeah. Like
Yeah,
people were like, oh, we went
Deep sea
zip
fishing.
lining and all this. Like, why? You can do that.
I'm a zip liner guy, though.
Yeah, but you could do that anywhere. Just go to the beach and lay on the beach,
Yeah.
and drink. And
What's tough when you're a
Yeah.
ginger? I mean, it really is. You get
man, they make like those
shirts.
yeah, those
Yeah, sure.
SPF.
Yeah, and I mean, now you're
rash
just
guard
hot.
shirt.
Now you're just sitting out there hot.
Dang, you got all kinds of excuses.
I just hate the beach. I really
Oh,
do.
God, I love it, man.
You guys do. I mean,
Yeah,
hey,
I love to just sit there, put a cigar in my mouth,
and just sit there.
watch the sea.
Now, I'd like to go like right now.
I've not really been. I've been to Florida at this time of year. I've never really been to the Carolinas. I'd like to check that out.
Well, I bet it's cold.
Probably a little bit.
Yeah.
too cold.
Yeah, I was even
The
at
wind.
Mackinac this summer, and it was like 50.
Oh yeah,
And that was too
Michigan,
cold.
dude, yeah,
Is there anything worse than constant wind? Like,
No.
yeah, it's awful.
like you're trying to do something like
It'll
just
wear you
even
out.
get out of your car and the freaking wind starts
Yeah.
blowing.
Oh,
Yeah, it's a lot of work.
yeah,
It is. It's a lot of work.
I don't like wind, especially cold wind. I'm just done.
yeah,
I
Yeah.
definitely wouldn't want to go to the beach if there's a cold wind. I'm out.
Well, I'd say Florida wouldn't have that.
Well, Florida now, but Carolinas for sure.
Oh my goodness! Just finished up with one of our favorite stops after football.
McDonald's.
That's right. Thank you, Brad and Sarah Munn, and all of our local McDonald's restaurants for being great sponsors here at the Chubbies. Chubbies, I still want to know how many points you got. I've got more of them tonight. Go to McDonald's. Help out Brad and Sarah Munn. They sure help out our communities. Thanks, Brad and Sarah.
Hey, not to change subject, I meant to bring this up tonight too. Have you guys watched that Yogi Berra documentary on Netflix? It just came out.
No, I've not even heard of it.
So in 2015, the All-Star game was in Cincinnati. And America, 25 million people, they said at the time, voted on who the four best living legends were in the game of baseball. You had Hank Aaron, Billy Hayes, Willie Mays.
Willie Mays.
Willie Mays, yeah. Willie Mays, Johnny Bench, and Sandy Koufax. Sandy Koufax 3-time Cy Young.
Oh, yeah.
Hank and Willie had stolen bases, home runs, some of those. Now, Yogi Berra was left out, and he was living at the time. That guy outranked all of them combined. He had more World Series championships.
Oh yeah, he's like 12, right? Something
Yeah,
like that. Something
10 or 12,
ridiculous.
something like that.
Crazy.
He had over they said like it was crazy like how many innings he had played. He went 143 or 148 games consecutive with no errors as a catcher. He did 113. He caught in 113 double headers. He had something like he had so many innings in a row that consecutive games at catcher. He had more home runs than almost, I think, even Joe DiMaggio, didn't he?
I don't know.
Yeah.
And he did it all fresh off the boats of Normandy.
Yeah.
He got drafted out of high school to go to the Yankees, and then he enlists in the Navy. He ends up staying in a boat off the beach of Normandy, but his job was to drag the bodies back. They would go in after the beach was secured, and he would go in and drag the bodies back. He shows back up in his Navy uniform to Yankee Stadium and goes in his Navy uniform. And his first 2 at bats as a Yankee were home runs.
Jeez. That's an underappreciated story. I don't know that I've really.
I watched it before the show today. And I was like, wow, I watched about half of it anyway. And I was like, man, because his granddaughter she took offense to it because he was not mentioned in that top 4.
Yeah.
And so she decided to have this documentary.
Yeah.
There's been some cool stuff on Netflix.
Oh, man. Yeah. I mean, their documentary, they're in the documentary game big time. Dude.
Have you watched Ancient, the one that Rogan was talking about, Ancient Apocalypse?
I haven't. I've heard him talking about it. I've been wanting to go check that out.
It gets deep.
I figured. Not surprised.
It gets deep. The other one I liked that we watched last week on vacation was that one with Bill Burr, that Old Dads, or it's Bill Burr, dude. It's us to a T. It's about an old dad, like a 40-year-old dad with young kids.
Not to change the subject, but back to baseball. Like a lot of that generation, like Ted Williams, probably one of the greatest baseball players of all time. Natural swing, just stud. He took like 3 years off to fight in World War II. You know what I mean? It's like, what the hell? You know?
There's a ton of those dudes that did that, man.
It's a different time. Like I don't really like when people try to compare.
I don't either.
It's just so different.
It's the same way with football, same way with everything. Basketball.
Yeah. When you start trying to compare, and remember when we were having that little Hall of Fame discussion here, or whatever it was, the GOAT discussion. It is so difficult to compare eras. I mean, it's just there's just not that many similarities. I mean, not enough to compare. I mean,
you watch old NFL footage.
That's what I mean. Yeah,
like these guys are like their high school game is like 10 times faster than old NFL game. These guys are like, like what the hell?
Smoking.
That guy's a running back.
Now
like,
in that generation, they were the Michael Jordan.
Oh hell
You're
yes,
right.
there ain't any doubt.
Right.
But to say that they were better now, no.
I mean,
or better than the guys now.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know
the rules as well. Like even like you watched who just died. Dick Buckus just died. They show him like his closlline move. Like,
oh yeah, man.
I mean,
Dick Buckus died when he died.
Maybe
I don't know.
Did
he die?
Dick Buckus. Yeah, he died.
Yeah.
A few months, maybe a month or so.
Hey,
ago.
speaking of that, shout out Rob
oh man,
your boy there.
Rob Cosby.
Rob Cosby. Sorry about that, family.
Yeah. Prayers for the family there.
Yeah.
What an absolutely great dude.
Yeah.
That guy was a beast. I remember because
he was, man.
my sister was that age.
Yeah.
Tommy, my cousin, was that age. So
He'd have been Tommy's lineman. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Those guys were crazy.
He
Jeff
played,
Carlisle.
Jeff Carlisle.
They both played some as sophomores, and that was my team my senior year. Just good guy, man.
Yeah.
Great guy. Worked his butt off.
I read,
you wouldn't run into a nicer guy, man.
right? I even read some comments. Someone was like, I've known him my whole life. I never heard him say an ill will towards anyone. I believe,
and that is absolutely true.
I believe that.
Yeah. He was good.
He just didn't have any interest in stuff like that, man.
I saw him a few years ago at my work, and like he didn't really recognize me. I don't look the same as I did when I was a 6th or 7th grader when these guys were playing football. But
you
same thing.
Do.
Smile.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Shake your hand.
Yeah.
Yeah. Just
Great.
heck of a guy. Yeah. Sucks.
Yeah. That. I was thinking about that while I was riding bikes. I'm gonna take the Mike McDonald approach from now on, and I'm just gonna be as nice as I possibly can. I'm never going to.
Yeah. Are you a little skeptical of that, Peters?
I am. Well, I am. I'm done with it. I'm done being mad. I'm done being an asshole.
I'm skeptical.
You don't think I can do it?
Listen, I'm busy. Y'all are busy, but lots of times when you and I talk to each other, one of us is pissed off. At
a lot of times.
A lot of times. As I think back, most of the time, I know if you're calling me, you're about to tell me that
somebody pissed me off.
Yes. And I do the same. I do the same thing. Like, you know what? Fuck that guy.
Yeah.
Right.
I'm not going to do it anymore.
I don't believe you.
You're going to check back with me because I think there's an art to it.
Oh, I think so.
You're never
too.
going to call me again.
Oh, well, if I do, it's just, we're going to talk about good, positive things.
Just happy. Hey, did you know what a great guy that guy is?
That's what I'm going to take that. I mean, because, they have to get pissed off same as we do.
Well, yeah.
But there's a few guys, Mike, I'd give it to Mike.
Yeah, he is always good.
I've
good
never
mood.
seen him frown.
No, great mood, good guy. Yeah.
And I mean, I'm just going to, every time I get mad, I'm going to think about him and I'm going to think about how he's just always grinning.
Calm,
and he would walk
smiling.
away from you before he'd frown.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Calm.
It's true. It's true.
As calm as he could be, man. Just enjoying himself.
Just calm.
Yeah.
I think that's the thing. Calm.
Yeah.
Just nice and calm.
My technique is just stay away from people.
Well, I don't think
Avoidance.
I don't think that's a bad thing. Now, I think COVID did that to people too. I don't think anybody wants to be around anybody.
Well, I think everybody, to some extent. I mean, now listen, don't get me wrong at all. Do I want to go back to 2020 and all that
And
mess?
shut down? No.
Hell no.
Yeah.
But I would say that my family made the most of it, man.
Yeah.
Like we kind of, I mean, it got it to be a way of life. I mean, and I sort of hated the reopening.
Yeah. Well, but I'm saying I just don't think anybody, like even right now, I don't think anybody looks forward to big, huge gatherings. I think you love smaller, tighter gatherings.
Sure.
But not great big,
Right.
I hate going to like pro games now.
Yeah.
And all those people and just all the mess and the chaos and
I don't know. Nothing beats it.
Yeah,
I
I'll
hate
tell you
it.
what, man. An NFL game is.
they're fun. I hate it. I
That's one of the few crowded environments I enjoy.
You
I
like
enjoy
that.
that, and I enjoy like a
Reds
small to mid-size concert.
Yeah. You wouldn't want to go to Jamboree in the Hills?
Nope.
Part of you would like to go back to
I'd like to give it. I don't think I would.
one night.
One night I'd go back.
I'd go back one night for sure.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I just went to a festival in Louisville, and I haven't been to a music festival in 20 years, probably or more. And hell, man, it was great. Most of the people there were my age.
Yeah.
Yeah, because no one can afford the ticket.
What did Kid Rock's tickets go for today? Wasn't like,
Crazy.
I mean, wasn't it crazy like $1,000 ticket or something
Yeah.
in Ashland?
Yeah. I'm anxious to see how that turns out because it's at the Boyd County Fairgrounds or
Yeah, I
something
know,
like
man.
that. It's like,
Seems like an odd venue.
yeah, it does.
It'll fly. It's Kid Rock.
And it's Kentucky.
Yeah.
It'll fly.
It'll fly.
Yeah, I just feel like there's, like, I don't know, there's a lot of people, though, that have shifted. I mean, you might like your certain things, but I'm saying if it's not your thing, you're apt not to go now, where before, you just kind of did it.
Well, and I mean, think like, during that, everybody starts watching like high school football games and stuff on their TV.
On YouTube, yeah.
I mean, you can watch now, like literally, you can watch anything with a smart TV.
Yeah, but that's actually killed sports like baseball.
Oh,
Like,
yeah,
the
yeah, it has.
TV contracts. Because like even when we were younger, if you went to a Reds game, there were 30,000 people.
Oh, heck yeah, man.
Easy. On a Tuesday night.
Oh, heck yeah.
Yeah, and then you have every game ever at your fingertips. It's hard, and you don't want to waste the time to make the trip when you can sit on the couch.
Do you like watching them in person or on TV?
I would rather watch baseball on TV.
Yeah.
It's
too.
just that type
Kinda
of sport.
slow.
And I was always a huge baseball guy growing up. Like I loved it.
I love to go to the park, but I've never had season tickets or anything. I wonder, but what I might get bored of that. I don't know. Hey, everybody. I want to talk to you about one of our special friends and friend of the program, Geiger Brothers Construction. Man, those guys have been with us since the start. Scott Massey, even though we're kind of hard on you sometimes, we sure do appreciate your sponsorship. And guys, if you own a commercial business and you need some contracting, engineering work, anything done, give those guys a call. 740-286-0800. Geiger Brothers. Thanks. Or like start thinking, man, I don't know. I want to drive all the way over there today.
Well, I was talking to Chris Tripp he bought like a game package where they got like I don't know how many games, but he was like it was like a chore once the season
that's what I
started
mean.
winding.
Like
because it's you drive there, you have to park, and it probably wears on you a little bit.
Well, that's what I mean. Because I mean, in football, like, all right, you got Bengals or Browns tickets. You got what, 6-8 games, man.
Yeah.
You know, so okay, you can do that.
Yeah.
Baseball, I mean, holy God, that's all summer, man, and spring and fall.
Who won the World Series? Rangers.
The Rangers, yeah,
Oh, I missed that one.
yeah.
Don't worry, no one was watching it.
I don't think anybody watched.
Nobody
that
watched
one.
the series. It was one of the best championship. The two championship series were outstanding.
Oh, yeah.
And then the World Series was just the wrong teams won.
It also makes you wonder the scheduling. It's like the NFL starts and college football is going on, and there's like a Thursday night game on the NFL. NFL just rules. They're built for TV.
Whatever.
Yeah.
Yep.
They've got it figured out.
Yeah.
But you have a sport that's kind of dying in popularity, in my opinion.
I agree.
And you're competing against the biggest. Like the NFL is probably pretty close.
You don't want to take on that.
World.
Though.
I mean, they're playing.
They
games
play
in Germany.
whenever they want,
Yes.
wherever they want, and people watch it. I mean, hell, we're having, they're playing in Europe, 8 a.m. kickoffs here in the States, and I mean, the TV demographics are crazy.
Yeah, because it's
off the chain.
Yeah, you're watching.
I mean, they're
watch
watching
3
it.
games in one day.
Yeah.
4 games.
Also,
Yeah,
they've been doing really well with that.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah,
yeah. I mean,
not only are they selling out the stadium in Ireland or Germany or whatever, but hell, everybody in America's watching it on TV at 8 a.m.
Are they doing that to kind of plant the seed to get some?
Oh, I think so.
100%.
Yeah,
Okay.
man, they're just trying to get the world involved.
Well, there's all these rumors that the Jags are going to move to
Britain, let's not-
to England, and
Yeah.
like they had stadium issues. They got that new owner, but they kind of pumped the brakes. But they played maybe 2 of their home games
Yeah.
in England.
The NFL is definitely dipping their toe in the water to make it global.
Yeah.
I think.
Well, UFC. I mean, they had some of the biggest fights in the history of the UFC here lately on Abu Dhabi time, which typically their our 10 p.m. is like, well, whatever it used to be. If it was our 10 p.m. showtime, now it's 2 p.m. And I mean, I haven't watched any of those yet, but I mean, it's apparent that nobody cares.
No, they don't.
Yeah, they don't care about Ohio.
When the brand is big enough.
Yeah.
And I mean, you've got with the NFL, it just seems to me like it's almost too big to fail.
Yeah.
I mean, anywhere it's like they can play anytime, anywhere, whatever. People will be there and they'll watch it on TV.
Absolutely, and the whole game is geared towards TV and commercials.
It is. Yeah.
First time I took Griff to a Browns game, he's like, "Why are they not playing?" I'm like, "Because there's commercials playing on TV.
tied
dude.
up,
Yeah,
buddy.
TV.
When the commercials are over, we'll start playing again."
Yeah.
Yeah.
The other thing too is if you watch those games in England and like the Patriots play, and there's nothing more funny to me than looking at an English guy wearing a Patriots jersey.
Yeah, I know. It's
Yeah.
classic.
Yeah.
Like what the hell, dude?
Yeah.
Yeah. They don't care, man.
They obviously.
I mean, and that's the funny thing is like the rest of the world, I mean, they're right there with the NFL, man. I mean, they're watching that stuff. I mean, they're consuming it.
Look at this theory. Okay, so then you just had this Francis Ngannou Tyson Fury, which went outside of the UFC and boxing and was like its own thing.
Right.
Well, it only does 75,000 pay-per-views, so to speak. Okay, but it was one of the highest grossing jackpot shows or jackpot fights ever. So and so what they said is that oil money and that Saudi Arabia money, they don't care how many people buy it. They're bringing it to their country anyway.
They want to have it right there. Yeah.
And the whole crowd was in cloaks.
Oh yeah.
But that's what
Shakes.
they paid for it. So
Yeah.
what's $250 million to 4 of them?
Yeah,
Nothing.
It's like Johnny's 14th birthday.
Yeah. I know.
That's a
Yeah.
UFC fight.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's just have it here at the house.
Yeah.
And
And that's
Yeah,
what
more
yeah,
convenient.
That's what they said. They were
Yeah,
like, hey,
yeah.
they don't even care about ratings.
No.
So they said, they're not doing this for TV, for ads. They're doing it because they just like the sport. So they said, get ready for other sports if they like them. They'll just start paying you to come over there. You're telling me that if they told the Browns and the Bengals, hey, we'll give you guys $500 million if you guys come over here. You're telling me they wouldn't do it?
Hey, dude, you just watch. I mean, right now they're starting with Europe.
Yep.
And then I would not be surprised if it continued to get bigger. I would not be surprised in
That ought to tell you a little bit about the state of the United States. They ain't got that faith in us
Yeah.
to pull them through the end.
Yeah. I mean, to be saying, hey, man, we better
get out
diversify.
there.
Better diversify.
Hey, I said all along,
These dudes are getting pretty poor over here.
whenever they started letting them Russians come over here in the UFC and kick the shit out of all these guys,
Yeah.
I said right then, I said, you guys are barking up the wrong tree. They might be just gearing up to seeing where we're at with the world war.
Yeah. They might want to come over here just see how soft we are.
I mean, I really do think that that has something to do with it, because you're just seeing the Americans aren't dominating that sport.
But UFC?
Yeah. And that's the only one so far, other than like Olympic Games, unless you guys can correct me. That's the only one that is like, it's an American sport, but I mean, it's all over.
Oh yeah.
I mean,
Well, it started in America, but I mean, it's a fighting sport, man. I mean,
how you going to call karate American?
Right? You can't.
You can't call mixed martial arts American. They started the.
I mean, you could call the UFC though the monetizing of it,
Yeah.
and the building of it. Dana White. I mean, you know.
But I thought, man, when they started letting those Russians come over here and start whipping on everybody, I thought, man, that's scary.
Yeah.
Because they're looking at us like we're a bunch of just bitches.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
We ain't whipped none of them. Have you seen these guys?
I don't watch a lot of UFC, man. Do you watch it, Peter?
I don't watch it.
They're
live. I'll
murdering
watch
us.
the highlights.
Yeah, me too.
They're murdering us. I mean, you've got that like Khamzat Chimaev, and you got I forget his name. It was Khabib Nurmagomedov's right hand man. He's the other one, Makhachev or whatever. Man, they're killers, trained killers.
Yeah, literally. Probably.
Literally,
Yeah.
literally trained killers.
Jeez.
They make. I mean, they're. I mean, now what we have though is like the Brock Lesnar's. We have these monstrous men.
Yeah.
That are good in the heavyweight stuff.
Yeah.
But in these younger divisions, like infantry, the smaller guys.
Yeah. The heavyweights, we dominate that.
Yeah. So, I mean, what do you want more of, soldiers or captains?
I don't know, dude.
Well, the other thing when I first started, I used to watch it a lot when I first started. There were street fighters mostly.
Yeah.
Like the big
Now.
guys were. Yeah, it's all technique now. It's all a lot more training.
Yeah.
Like these guys were just.
Oh, they used to be brawlers.
Yeah,
For
just go in
Tank
there.
Abbott and those
Dan
dudes.
Severn.
Man. Yeah. Those dudes.
That Don Fry, I love watching him and that Yokoshima. That guy, whenever they were just that Japanese guy. Remember that? And they were winning each other's face.
What was the other guy? Kimbo Slice.
Oh yeah.
Oh, my
That
God.
Kimbo
The
stepped into
backyard
UFC
fighting.
and then he got rocked.
Well, yeah, because he was a street fighter. No
yeah.
technique.
Yeah.
He just
It was
go-
like, hey, just bet on.
Outlast someone.
Dude's
That
betting
doesn't-
in a backyard. Like, hey, man.
I still would want to fight him.
Oh my God!
That guy.
Are you kidding me, man?
That guy.
There was like a couple of videos I remember. Like he'd fight some dude, and the dude's eye would be hanging out or something.
I'm
man,
not watching.
Teeth up through their jaw.
Yeah, it's like, good Lord, man, walk away disfigured.
I'm out.
And that was all,
I don't want to see that.
that was all going on down in Florida.
Yeah,
Like
Miami.
those what do they call those burners? No, what is them fights they call them?
I don't know.
There's a name for them.
Yeah,
Uh,
it's like a Fight Club type.
it
thing.
is, but there's a name for it when they're burn. It's either burners or it always reminded me of like cockfights.
Oh well, I mean that's kind of what it is.
It
dude.
is, yeah.
Now, Kimbo Slice played for the University of Miami down there. He was a
Did he
Hurricane
really?
for a minute. Yeah,
Wow.
Yeah.
Makes sense.
and then things didn't work out.
Well, John,
Or maybe they did.
It depends on
Yeah,
how you
yeah,
look
it depends
at
on
it.
how you look
It's all
at
about
it.
perspective.
Yeah.
John Jones, he's the heavyweight champion right now, or contender.
Yeah.
And he has two brothers in the NFL, and he made the statement the other day, or it was a couple months ago. He said, "Y'all are lucky that these guys are playing NFL because he went to wrestle. He's the baddest man in the world.
Well,
so to
yeah, I
speak.
mean, that's John Bones Jones.
Yeah, and his brothers can whip him.
Oh, no shit.
Well-
but he's just saying, hey, these guys would be bad as hell if they,
Yes.
if they did this.
Yeah, they'll go in there and hang with him wrestling around, and they're not fighters. They're like,
Yeah, like he's got his training and all that.
yeah.
But they're just savages.
Yeah, they're just that good.
Yeah.
He's like, you guys are lucky that these old the NFL guys aren't, that they're so beat up.
Oh, yeah, they're not coming in a ring now, dude.
No.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
It doesn't translate.
no, I don't.
I mean,
I don't think it does. No,
Yeah.
you're too beat up by the end of that.
yeah. Well, and I mean, I'm sure there's a lot of dudes on a football field that are badasses, but like, I don't know that they want to go and get in the fight game.
Yeah.
You don't see that. You don't see that transition very often.
That's something that's
you know?
changed in our lifetimes as well. Is,
Yeah.
The mentality of a football player. They don't want to do that. They're not going to go.
Yeah, they're not interested in that.
They're
Yeah.
like intelligent. They are.
Yeah, yeah.
It's chess.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, like,
It is.
but if you go back to like Lyle Alzado
Yes, right.
for the Raiders, like
Right.
he used to make the comment, like, there is no one alive that can whip me.
Yeah.
He's like, I mean, they might think they can. He said, but they would have to do it, and I don't think they can.
But there's no
Any minute.
He was. Hey, I mean, dude, there was no joking in his face whatsoever.
There's no one in the game right now that you could say that would say that.
No, not right. I don't know.
'Cause
I
even
can't
the-
think of anybody. Even the badasses, dude, they're not saying shit like
Yeah.
that. You never heard Ray Lewis saying stuff like that. I mean, that guy was unchained.
Well, I mean, he did.
Maybe
He did have to go to
murdered
court
somebody.
for
Might have-
stabbing somebody.
Might have murdered
Allegedly.
somebody. Yeah, I don't know.
Allegedly.
We all know that he didn't do it.
Oh, sure.
He got in trouble for murdering somebody. I don't follow this
yes.
stuff.
Oh,
Super
it
Bowl.
was bad early on. Yeah, in
Like
his
one of
career.
his bodyguards got, sent to prison for stabbing a guy to death.
Oh.
Super Bowl.
It's a little shady.
A little shady.
But I mean, hey, it's Ray
He,
Lewis.
did, he
right?
didn't miss
What
any
the
time.
hell?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, you
This
did.
is a small
Money
trial.
talks.
Trial during
Just
the
a little
off
trial.
season.
Yeah, it was all right.
What did Mixon do?
Had a gun.
Mixon had a gun, but
Everything got reduced. Like, it
wasn't it
started
like a
off really
Nerf gun
bad.
fight, and he thought it was a real gun?
No, I don't know what it was, but he pointed a gun at somebody.
Pretty sure in college though he kicked a girl in the face.
Oh, in
Something
college,
like a Waffle House
In
or
college, and that's on film.
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. He decked a girl.
Oh,
So,
okay.
yeah, I mean, he's not had a great. It's not a great story, dude.
So do you think?
And if
that-
he would just be a better goddamn running back, maybe I'd feel a little better about it.
yeah, I liked old P. Ryan,
I did too.
and then they got rid of him. Where'd he go? Jags, Nashville,
Denver,
Denver.
I think.
Yeah, Denver.
You know, though, man, I mean, Mixon, I shouldn't say. Like, 1 out of 4 carries, I might clap my hands, cheer for him a little bit.
Yeah,
But most of the time, I'm like, God damn, this guy, I don't like him.
yeah.
Yeah, I mean he's no Nick Chubb. Let's just.
Oh, my God, no. Hey, I'll tell you what. Now, I'm not a Browns fan, and you are.
Yeah.
But I got to say this. I'm also not like the extreme Bengal fan that hates the Browns. And I hate the Steelers much worse than the Browns. But
Same.
and probably the Ravens too. I don't know. Yeah. but it's like, have you ever seen a team with worse luck than what happened this year? I mean, at some point you got to say it. Like, and as a Bengal fan, I feel like I'm allowed to say it because I have felt and lived your pain at some point. But this, man, it's off the chain. They're coming off probably one of the biggest wins they've had in the last
25 years.
25. I mean, is that fair?
Yeah, I can only think
mean-
of, as a lifelong fan, I can only think of one other game that was that big, and it was back in like 2003 or 2004. They beat the Falcons at home to make the playoffs to play the Steelers for the third time. Kelly Holcomb was quarterback.
That's right.
Browns had a lead at the end of the game. Whatever
Yeah.
that Tommy Maddox or whatever he is
Yeah.
from the Steelers, pulls it out of his ass and beats the Browns.
Well,
But yes,
I'll tell you what,
biggest
I
game
still
since
think
then, at
this
least.
might have been bigger, dude. I mean,
Oh,
it's
yeah.
the Ravens.
Yeah, absolutely.
Former, and then to that comeback.
Yeah.
I mean, that was unbelievable.
That's very un-Browns.
Oh, I know. And then come Tuesday of this week, the whole team's out.
Yeah.
I mean,
Why?
both tackles.
Oh, yeah.
Watson now. I mean, Chubb. I mean, their injuries have just absolutely decimated them, man.
The defense is sick, though. That's,
Oh my God, they're
like-
so good.
But historically, there have been teams that advanced in the playoffs with a defense that good,
Yeah.
with a shitty quarterback or
Yep.
a shitty offense. The Ravens, when they won
Oh
their
yeah,
first Super Bowl,
Hey,
like
if
Trent
they
Dilfer
can,
was
yeah,
their
if
quarterback
they
for
can
Christ's sakes.
find a serviceable guy, they've got pieces. It just, man, the loss of Chubb and those 2 offensive tackles. I mean, that's tough.
Yeah, huge.
I mean,
It's the curse of Paul Brown. So
I don't
when
know, man.
Art Modell fired Paul Brown as the coach.
That was it.
That was it.
yeah,
They never overcame.
he went,
Tell us-
started the Bengals, and that was it.
And the
Tell-
Bengals have played in 2 Super Bowls.
Yeah.
Tell us the story about this guy you found that was from Jackson.
Oh man, what a cool story. Yeah, I wanted to ask.
I was.
How come we have never heard of this guy?
I had no idea. I was
I
like,
mean,
shocked.
wouldn't you think that we
I
would have
hear-
all known this like a long time ago?
Right,
Like, yeah.
especially like sports.
Now I remember
Well,
when
that's
I
what I
called
mean.
you last time. We was pissed off.
So yes, it's very clear to me now. But this guy, like he founded an NFL team. Like
Yeah.
that's still an NFL team. The Rams started off in Cleveland.
Yeah.
They've moved around a million times. But I was watching something on Paul Brown, and then I saw like the original NFL teams, and they're like on this car and they're signing all their documents. It's like a car dealership somewhere in Canton.
Sure,
Or something.
yeah.
So then I was like, I'm going to Google these people. So then I see Homer Marshman, I think is the guy's name. So it's like born in Jackson, Ohio. I was like, yeah, maybe that means like Jackson,
Massillon.
yeah, Massillon,
Yeah,
Jackson Township, whatever, So I look and I'm like, he went to Jackson High School. And so I Googled again, and then I found a picture of the guy. He was like the vice president of his class from Jackson High School in the Oski Wow. So I knew then.
Roughly what year was that?
So he probably would have graduated in like the late or early 20s, late teens.
Would he have been a Kinnison High School graduate?
Oh,
No,
yeah.
I think he was like actually, so it was like maybe early 20s then, because I think it was
One of the first classes at the new high school.
Absolutely.
The new high school.
But
now
what's
the
crazy
middle
is the
school.
guy, he's local. He was born here. He went to OU. He got a law degree. He moved to Cleveland. He had these, a car dealership with another guy. Next thing you know, he founds the Rams, the Cleveland Rams.
Unbelievable.
In the 30s, like the 1930s.
At the beginning of the American Football League.
Yeah. I mean, at the very beginning. Then he sold the team when it moved to LA for the first time. And then he took the money and partnered up with Paul Brown to start the Browns.
Yeah.
This dude's from Jackson. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And like, what the hell? Like,
I that blows my mind that somebody that was that integral in like the founding of the Cleveland Browns.
yeah, or the
Rams
football,
or the
football,
NFL.
pro football.
And I mean,
football.
like, it's
Two
not
pro
like
teams.
Jackson is a town that hates football. Christ, you'd think we'd have a statue of this guy up there somewhere.
Well, he was so important that I shared that 2 years later and no one said anything about it. So I found that like 2 years ago.
Yeah. Yeah. You still
Shared it
you
on
shared
Facebook,
it.
and then I like, oh God, it showed up as a memory, and no one's done shit for this. So
Yeah.
They're not.
whoever's out there in the world that can make that
Yeah,
shit
whoever,
happen.
you're, local historians or whatever, man. I mean,
Well, Pete Wilson was like, following, I'll figure something out, but I keep forgetting to ask Pete about it. And obviously he hasn't,
Yeah.
maybe he does know.
That'll be a
little bit more
back
about
burner story one of these days.
But
He'll
Somebody
probably
will pull
come
it
up
up.
with.
Somebody should, yeah.
He'll archive it at least.
someone put it on Wikipedia because, you can go in and add things.
man, they need a young dude. Have old Jeremiah Shaver just drive on that.
Yeah, it's not in his wheelhouse.
That
so.
isn't. No, Pete is the guy.
Pete's the
Pete
guy.
definitely-
Pete's
Yeah,
definitely
yeah.
the guy. Yeah, but we're kind of losing that generation of people that's even going to know anything about that. We've already
Well,
lost.
don't you guys think it's funny though that like just in like the generations around like just older dudes that we all know, like dads of our friends, granddads of our friends. Can you believe we've never heard that name?
No.
No.
I mean, I can't believe it. Some of the older dudes we used to hang out with, sometimes the Elks and everything. I mean, huge Browns fans and stuff.
Never one.
Never heard it. I can't believe it.
Well, think about it. Where would they have known that?
That's true. I mean, he probably left Jackson and never came back.
Yeah.
I mean,
Well, he made it as far as Athens, and then he
Yeah.
went
Yeah.
to law school or grad school somewhere.
Yeah.
But he probably never came back.
Yeah, so you can't really fault them.
No, it's just odd to me like that. I mean, I would think a dude like that would be like freaking legendary
Or he would,
at Jackson High
or
School.
he would want to come back.
Well, yeah, you'd think it. Yeah, like he'd want to come back and be
So
like,
there,
hey,
maybe
man.
there is some sort of backstory.
Do you think there was a rift?
Maybe, or he's like the only son. Like he may have had sisters, and so he's the only person with that name, and he moved away. And
Hey, back then he might not even have played football.
Well, I mean, who knows? I mean, he's obviously a very successful businessman. Who knows whether he played?
I mean, you can go to the library and look at the old yearbooks. So I mean, that'd be
See,
a good place to
the
start.
interesting thing, man, is he would be very close to my grandfather and grandmother Reynolds' age.
Oh wow.
That's like very similar. So I gotta bounce this dude off my dad and stuff.
Ooh, I'd say Chad. I'd say he saw that, didn't
Yeah,
he?
Yeah, he did. Well, I mean, I mentioned it. He gets. I've never heard that guy's name in my life.
Huh.
And
Yeah,
I'm
and
like,
I mean,
I'm
if
like,
your family
are you
has
kidding me?
I mean, you're kind of like the foundation football family.
Oh, not really. I mean, but you would think
Yeah, but
that somebody
he
in
is-
Jackson would have heard of it.
He is statue worthy. Let's be honest. Like,
Who?
that's
The guy from
He is a football town. You just said it. You know
yeah,
what I mean?
I mean,
he ought to at least have a brick.
the guy, the Browns guy. I mean,
Yeah.
Jesus Christ. I mean, yeah, I'm thinking a statue outside the stadium.
Yeah,
Absolutely. The man is one of the co-founders of the Cleveland Browns. He graduated from Jackson High School. Are you kidding me?
Yeah.
I mean, come on.
Yeah. Well, I mean, hey, if I knew anybody that was in government,
Yeah, I do. Yeah. I mean, I don't know. Maybe a city resolution.
I'd get us a statue.
Maybe a city resolution.
Well,
I was hoping we wouldn't go there.
Okay.
I'd call his cell phone.
Yeah.
I wouldn't email.
Nah, we can't.
No, it's all good.
Yeah,
It's
yeah,
all
we
good.
can't
It
do
is
that.
what it is.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
Get us
Well,
a
I
statue.
still think we need to start a groundswell campaign. Let's recognize this dude.
absolutely.
Well, let's
mean-
research him. He might have been an asshole.
Well, I mean,
no one's going to remember.
I would like to know. Yeah,
someone
everybody's
would have
dead.
to have wrote about it in the newspaper.
well, yeah, but what if you find out that he like had bad stuff?
Like,
there's a
what are you
reason why he
talking
didn't
about?
come back or something like
Yeah, like he murdered a whole family full of
that.
kids.
Yeah, or something. Yeah.
Oh,
He might have back
doubt
in.
it.
What?
he got a little taste of life outside of Jackson, and he hit the road, and he never.
But
came
you
back.
never know.
Come on, there's lots of people that do that.
Yeah.
Well, I'm not actually a Gillum because of that. Like my last name, I just found this out a year ago.
I think you told me.
Yeah, I'm not actually a Gillum. My family was a Gilliam. My great grandpa was a Gilliam, and he killed a guy in Kentucky, and did his time, and then moved up here, and just never went back home.
Changed his name.
Changed his name. Yeah. So,
Shit happens.
Well, but I
Yeah.
mean, this dude. I mean, like, why?
So what if he
wouldn't
did that?
Well, why wouldn't
mean,
he
he
have
would-
wanted to come
what
back?
if he killed the Jones boys?
That's
Holy
that would be way before Simon. It wasn't even probably
Yeah.
probably not.
What if he's the guy that killed the Jones?
That's how rumors start, man.
Yeah. Right here.
What if he's the guy that burnt the courthouse?
Holy shit.
That,
I bet
how
he
that's
was.
possible.
I bet he was.
Yeah. Fuck that guy.
You know what? Hey, fuck him and his statue. There'll be no goddamn statues. He's a goddamn pyromaniac.
We don't know you,
Arsonist.
Marshman.
Yeah.
Marshman.
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 Well, that's what I'm saying. I mean, we let's not go declaring a statue until we figure out what he's done.
Hey man, I just
To
I
be
just-
continued.
Yeah.
There are people out there. I just spit it out. You know,
I like
they can
it. I
make
like
their
it.
own opinion.
Yeah,
But
that was a good find.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's
that
just
was a very
random.
nice find.
Completely random.
Yeah.
Like so weird though. Like you can do a Google search, and if it's something old, it'll find like the phrase in a book.
Yeah.
That's
Like
cool.
I did a lot of history of my house and some of the other houses on South Street. The Sternbergers, and I don't know if the road out towards Oak Hill is named after them, but these guys were like movers and shakers. So my house, Seth Stockmeister's house, which used to be the doctor's
Doc
office,
Williams, yeah.
Batchel's old house, all built by the same family. They're all Sternbergers.
Okay.
So the father immigrated from Germany, and he changed his name. And where Sportabout is, there was a mining store there, so he sold
I knew that.
mining supplies.
Yeah.
So his kids grew up. The guy who built my house, they sold it to the Calls in like the early 1900s. But he built the house in 1897 or something. He sold it because he moved to Toledo and bought a railroad. So, like,
Yeah.
that's crazy. And the Calls bought it, so everyone remembers that the Calls living there, and the Calls had the ice plant down,
Yeah.
so and then the car dealership, and then all the other Calls thereafter.
Well, then they went over to Portsmouth.
Who did?
The Calls, I think, didn't they?
I don't.
Yeah, they did.
Oh,
'cause-
it's Portsmouth Street.
Portsmouth Street. Yeah.
Well,
Yeah,
your mom told me a story about one of their daughters dying young,
Yeah.
and the mom.
That's
just-
why they still do senior breakfast in her memory.
so
at Jackson.
So they had a daughter that passed away, and then the mom didn't want to live in the house anymore.
Graduation
And they
day,
had
yep.
another house over on Portsmouth Street, so they moved out and they just left it abandoned. And then when Wanda Angel bought the house, it had sat empty for a while.
Huh.
So it's
This,
crazy.
This building sat empty from the 70s until 2000.
How is that even possible? Right in the middle of town.
Unreal.
I drive by it every day.
Look at in our lifetime, that one Baxter's doing down there has been empty.
Oh yeah.
Well, other than the
I
card
remember.
shop.
I
Well,
remember.
no, Gary's
I
barber
remember.
shop was in there.
I remember.
Mike's card shop was in
Yeah,
the back.
Gary's barbershop
Yeah,
was in the back.
I got my
in the
first
front of
haircut
it. The front of it at one time
Barber.
was it was Trimble's
Trimble's
jewelry.
Jewelry.
Yeah, that's the last I remember.
Yeah.
I don't remember that.
I was young, but I remember it.
Yeah, I don't remember any of that.
I
But I mean,
remember that.
but so I'm 42.
Yeah.
So in that same amount of time, You know, how does a building sit empty?
Of course, you know what, man? These uptown buildings, they blend in too, man.
Yeah.
You get used to seeing them, and you don't think
been dead for 40 years.
Yeah, at least.
It's great to see them.
Oh,
something
what's he going to do with it, man? That's
cares?
cool.
Who
Yeah,
cares?
I know. Man, it doesn't matter.
Let it sit empty for another 100 years, as long as it's pretty, right?
Yeah.
Well, I think it's great. I love seeing these old buildings be reclaimed.
Yeah,
and the downtown coming back. It's awesome, man.
Chubbies, hey, you know, we all know this guy, all the folks over at AP Prep. We cannot thank you enough. Look those guys up at apprep.info. We get asked all the time, hey, what happens? How do you get over there? Hey, that's how you do it. You get on apprep.info, you look them up, you set a time for your kid's assessment. They schedule a time, you bring your kid over there, boom, it's done. They get you right in the schedule. And hey, for all you adults, you just show up on Monday, Wednesday, or Thursday night at 5:30, and they got their boxing classes. It's $10, or you can join by the month. So look them up at apprep.info. Yeah.
It's awesome.
We can talk about something political, which is talking about downtown.
Issue 2?
No. Close. Dora, like the downtown.
Oh, the
or
outdoor-
designated outdoor refreshment area.
Yeah, you can drink beer.
So we're going to do that. Like the
I
city's going to do
heard
that.
that. Is that true?
Yes, it is, because
Okay.
my dad passed away in 2021.
Yeah.
So I was like really hard at it then. And then, you know, the wind gets let out.
Oh, yeah.
So I talked to some people and just didn't really think about it. Fast forward, I went to work in Logan for a little while, and we had no place to do business. So the Chamber of Commerce put us up in an office there while we were opening up a store in Logan for training, interviewing, all the stuff. So I started to talk to the chamber lady there, and they had just passed it. So she's like telling me how great it is, and you know that you're going to get a little bit of opposition, but you know the business owners typically can handle the opposition to it. But what it will do is it'll take downtown, for instance, and create a map that you can open container in.
Well, yeah, like you leave the bar and you pour it in a plastic cup and says Dora on it or
absolutely.
whatever.
Everyone has it. Every municipality in Southern Ohio, except Jackson, has it. So every city.
Well, and I mean, those little First Thursday things and everything, that'll be, it's going to be huge.
Well, the big thing was when the Marquee had some event, and they had it on Broadway, and they got a special permit to serve beer, but it had to be touching the building. So they're serving beer back here in this freaking
alley.
Yeah, this alley. Yeah, right over here. Like, bro.
Yeah.
No, that's
Not
dumb.
cool.
That's stupid. Like, this is dumb. Like, it's 2023 at this point. That's dumb.
Well,
Like,
and I mean,
what
you
world
know,
do we live in?
people that are opposition to that, I mean, at this point, like, come on, dude.
There's not going to be.
Get over it,
I
man.
said the
You
same
don't
thing
have to
about
do
the
it.
issue 2. If you weren't a fan of that,
Yeah.
you've never done it.
Right.
I mean, and I mean, I can publicly say that now. We're legal.
Yeah, it's legal.
Is it legal now or?
Well,
days.
it's a lot step closer. You
No,
can,
it's legal.
yeah, you can grow your own.
It enacted in 30 days from the time it passed.
Okay.
We're not 30 days out yet.
We're not 30 days. Yeah,
Pretty
you can't
close.
do it now. But
Pretty close.
Yeah.
Pretty close.
By the time this podcast comes out, it will be. But yeah, you're allowed to grow 6 plants per adult in your house,
Okay.
and you are allowed to possess up to 1 ounce on your person,
Okay.
and or 15 milligrams of cartridges. 1 cartridge is usually 1 gram. So you're allowed.
How would that translate to like edibles and stuff?
I doubt. I don't know.
Not legal.
Probably 15 grams.
Okay.
Because a vape is a concentrate.
Like how much is 1 ounce, man?
Yeah, you're speaking metric. We're over here on the
1 ounce. 1 ounce is about a full bread sack, a bread like sandwich bag.
That's a lot.
If you packed it plumb full,
Yeah.
maybe the quart size. Yeah, you don't need to be packing around an ounce for.
I was going to say, hell, you wouldn't be packing that around but you're allowed to.
Yeah.
Well, you would transport it. Let's be honest. You'd need to move it from one place to the other. So
Yeah. Right.
Not really, because you know it's like alcohol. I mean, you know.
Well, right, but if they said you could only have 24 beers in your car in a case, at
Oh,
one
yeah,
time,
yeah,
from point A to point B, you'd be breaking the law. You know what I mean? If you had 2 cases, then
Yeah.
you're breaking the law. So that's just semantics, though. You know, it's not.
Yeah.
Well,
if
they're
you're
not
2
looking to be
adults-
busting people for that, probably.
Well,
Yeah.
the other thing too that is nice about it is like finally the light bulb went off. Where hey, if we regulate this and we can fucking tax this.
Yeah, we
like,
make
Jesus
some money
Christ,
off of
we
it.
get
yeah.
taxed for everything.
Your workforce is going to go up because of.
Well, and I'll tell you what, man. I mean, look at the wasted jail time and the time that cops are spending likely on, trying to shut down huge marijuana rings. I mean, I don't know, man.
Flying a helicopter around.
I mean,
for somebody's garden.
It's just kind of like, I don't know. I just look at the
Seth does that.
What?
Flies a helicopter around.
Looking for weed?
Sometimes.
Yeah.
Seth.
My kid, Seth.
Oh, your kid. Oh, okay.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
like,
the thing is, like, and I'm sure they will certainly continue to do that to prevent, like,
oh no! Here's what they'll do.
It just seems to me like they almost are looking at, like, all right, you know what? We're not going to spend as much time on weed possession and stuff.
Well,
right now.
they are. They will shut. It already happened. The guys that were back row dealers before in the marijuana business, whenever they brought it into the table medically, which has been legal now for 5 years in Ohio.
Yeah.
If you have your medical card, that alone pretty much dissipated the local growers.
Okay.
Yeah, because the prices are the same.
Okay.
So do you want it to taste like a strawberry, or do you want it to taste like just the outdoor stuff?
Yeah.
And those guys are all selling Fent now, you know what I mean?
Well, you don't know what you're getting. Yeah, and I mean, honestly, that's...
Well, I mean, that's the thing. Now you got to worry about what the hell's in it.
That's really messed up if you think about it. Like,
they ruined it.
Yeah.
They put that fentanyl on everything, and they've ruined every drug, every drug that you used to take.
Well,
like they press it into pill form.
it ought to be terrific motivation for people to not... well, I mean,
I wonder what it's going to do to this area and the opioid.
I don't know, man.
Like I hope that because it's very affordable. I went to Michigan and it was legal up there, and I have my medical card here. I can say it now. I don't care. So I would go buy it here, and what I was given $60 and $70 for, I could buy for $8. In Michigan.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah. They were okay. So like, I would.
Well, there's competition up there, man. I mean,
yeah. So you had one cartridge here, which 1 gram would cost you $60, and there you could buy 10 for $100 or 15 for $100.
Well, the other thing is, it's like a safety thing, like you're saying. Like if I went to Handy Mart and all the liquor bottles are lined up there, and I think maybe there's like 3 of these bottles that I don't know which ones they are, but they might kill me.
Yeah,
like what I mean?
Yeah, don't.
Like,
don't go.
Why are you taking your chance? Like I think it's I'm not into a whole bunch of regulation. That's not like I don't think that's great for anything. Like people to tell you what to do, when to do it. However, when it comes to substances that we didn't have a
that's not a drug. I don't care what anybody says.
Well, I mean.
That stuff is way better for you than alcohol.
Well, I agree, but what I'm saying is that it's regulated in the sense that what it is. Like you're saying.
Well, just like
levels.
bourbon, just like comparing bourbon to like
moonshine,
homebrew moonshine. I mean, some of the moonshine stuff. Like, look, if you pick a bottle of bourbon up off of a shelf of a liquor store, odds are like you'd have to really be a stupid ass to kill yourself with that. Okay, now. Not the same
with moonshine.
No, I mean moonshine. Shit, they put whatever they want in there, man. You could be drinking kerosene. Who knows?
It's like people that are like, well, I don't know what they do. They smoke the meth. They
whatever.
Right.
Right.
Like some dude who failed out of high school chemistry made this shit in his bathroom.
No, some dude didn't even go to high school.
He probably did go to high school.
Maybe.
He probably didn't make it out.
I got in a deep dive on this. I lost a buddy here a while back, and I got in a deep dive on where this fentanyl was coming from. And what they're doing is like a lot of these guys, and I tell you, I blame 100%. I blame this on the pharmaceutical world, okay, because they are pushing this stuff down your throat. And so they'll take these people that, like, let's say that Grandma Betty has a prescription of 30 Percocets a month or whatever. So they'll take that, they'll go to Betty and they'll say, hey, we know you get those for $40 or whatever it is, but we'll give you $600 for that bottle. Okay. And every month we're going to come back and we're going to get that bottle from you. So they'll take that bottle and then they'll take it and they'll put all those pills. Hopefully they're like the powder capsules, I guess, not gel tabs. Okay. Or if they're gel tabs, they'll break them open. But if they're the capsules, they can grind them all up. Okay. Then they take here's what I never did understand or never did figure out. Where were they getting the fentanyl? Okay, but that's a prescribed drug. They actually it has a use. There's lots of people that's always been on fentanyl. So they were getting that fentanyl somehow, and they would basically this is for real. They would take it and they would take all those capsules and they would grind them all up in a powder form. So they knew, let's just say that you had 30 20 milligram tablets in that bottle. So they knew that there was 600 milligrams in there. Well, they could put enough fentanyl and they could stretch that thing out to about 800 milligrams. So on the street value, those things were like $10 a gram. So if you had, or I'm sorry, like $1 or $2 a gram, or I don't know how it was priced, but I know like at one time it was like if you had a Percocet 60 milligram, that thing was like a $60 to an $80 pill. Okay, so whenever they cut it, they were able to take their whatever they had made, and they were able to we gave you 600 for it, and now we just turned 600 into 800, and now we're going to jam all those back in here, and then we're going to upcharge for that. But the problem is, if you got that one lethal dose, which is what's got 90% of the people around here, they're just getting the lethal dose, and they're getting too much. They didn't shake the bag up enough, and you got more than what you could handle in that thing. That's how they were all getting them, and that's what happened to one of my buddies. It's happened to several of our buddies. Us three sitting at this table.
Well, I mean, I don't know if you can draw a line from, what just passed and hoping that, maybe, hopefully could there possibly be relief for the opioid crisis with
this
legalized pot?
Well, I think as long as people start accepting it, because, hey, our kids are not going to have the stigma behind marijuana that we grew up with.
No.
Whenever we were in high school, if we just showed up smelling like a joint, all three of us had got beat.
Oh, yeah.
We all know.
Oh, yeah. But now I challenge you, go to a concert, go to a game, go anywhere.
Walk down
the
the
street.
street.
Smell that shit. Like our kids, like, I don't know that my son really knows what it is, but like, he looks at me and smiles.
Let him leave Jackson.
I mean, they know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, straight up, we left the Browns game 2 Sundays ago,
Yeah.
and
It's always
just
smells.
walking out.
Oh, yeah,
It's
It's everywhere.
there's hundreds of people walking through the gate, and it's like, whoa,
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
It's everywhere.
everywhere.
So I mean, as long as people can stop with the stigma and let these people get high that just didn't want to drink, and they just wanted to do something.
The stigma comes from like a lot of people are like, oh, I've never, smoked any marijuana ever in my life. So
Yeah.
the stigma comes from they don't understand how that makes you feel. I don't think.
Yeah.
No.
No. I don't
Because it's
and,
not a drunk.
and like,
it is
and,
definitely
well,
not a
and,
drunk.
and I think
feeling.
I think that they've been programmed too. That's like, okay, that is illegal.
Yeah.
Yeah. I will
So
not
speedy.
do that. Yeah, that's what I mean. But like,
Seat
don't
belt,
you
running
think
stop
though
signs.
that that's what it is? Like, that
Oh, yeah.
people are just like, oh, wait a minute, no. I mean, you've got to be a degenerate to do that. You're
Yeah.
breaking the law, sir.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, yeah, like you said, if I'm going 35 on Huron, I'm breaking the damn law too.
Yeah.
I mean,
and I just
yeah.
honestly, like, I don't even talk to people anymore if they say that they haven't done it and they want to judge. Okay.
Whatever.
You're from the thought process of don't knock it till you try it.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Well, and especially now
Well,
it's
or
legal.
I guess I'm more from the thing of like, hey, look, dude, if you don't like it, cool, but,
Yeah, but
like,
the other-
don't like. I don't see
Yeah.
why you gotta hate on everybody.
The other things too, like that we've seen since these other states have legalized it. Like I think Colorado was first.
They're the pioneer.
Somewhere out. What
Yeah.
was it, Colorado?
I think it was. Yeah.
And then they had all this extra tax money that they didn't know what to do, and they really like pigeonholed themselves because they said they could only spend the money on certain things. So they had to go back and
Redo all these
everything.
laws,
right?
yeah.
When really just use the money for whatever it needs to be used for.
right.
Like let's fucking just use the
quit
money.
trying to explain it away like it's like
Right.
it's a
well, we're
crime.
gonna do this and
Now
this.
we're
No,
going to
just-
give those to. I'm not even.
But also the health benefits that we've seen that it has done for like people were like I watched this thing on I think it was on Netflix about these guys who had
Parkinson's guy?
Parkinson's
Yeah.
disease and like it's like
Kept their tremors down.
yeah and like they could function the guy could write the guy could dial the phone he could do cook
Yeah.
like all the things that
He's
we
normal.
take yeah but when it would wear off like the tremors or they were just intense like to the point where he couldn't do anything but like let's just be honest like it's way better than most of the drugs that you're getting in your
Any
little
synthetic
yeah, like
drug, yeah.
driving through CVS pharmacy, it's probably way better. Side effects are less. The only thing that I was thinking about is like Snoop Dogg said today that he quit smoking weed, like saw it.
Okay.
Like can it cause any issues with your? It's not like it's not filtered like you'd smoke a cigarette and have.
It can't be good for you.
Right. Like, is there?
I don't
like,
know that it's as bad as cigarettes.
Like, could you get like COPD? Could you get?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
That's what I'm saying. Like, wouldn't it be better too to have that regulated where you go buy it and
With the filter? Well, they do now. Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. But
they do.
Let's be honest. Snoop Dogg ain't smoking like that. He hasn't been for the last.
They said he was smoking, close to an ounce a day. And I mean, if he was doing that, I don't know how many joints that would be. Depends on who's rolling them. But if he was smoking an ounce a day, there's no way he was smoking that on his own. I'll put two.
He was sharing it.
Yeah, I mean that would probably be the equivalent to about 45 joints.
Holy shit!
And he was smoking them like cigarettes. Yeah. But I mean, he's probably given 4 or 5.
You're right. Yeah.
Smoke weed every day.
Yeah, I mean, he's walking into wherever he's going. But he had a guy that he paid $75,000 a year that was nothing but a blunt roll.
Yeah, I heard that. Like, I always wondered if that was true. Seth Rogen, I think, is another person who has someone on staff that
rolls blunts all day.
Does it for him.
Oh my God.
Yeah. I mean, it's going to be interesting to see where this takes Ohio.
It'd be really interesting, man.
I think Ohio has a lot of opportunity here because you don't have any in Kentucky or West Virginia. You have Virginia.
Yeah.
But I just went through, and I was looking for a dispensary, and I just went through Virginia last week, and I couldn't find one.
Don't go to Indiana.
Is there none in Indiana?
No. Well, I've just heard horror stories of people passing through Indiana,
Hey,
coming
you
from
can't
Colorado on I-70, and
it was that way in North Carolina.
You're incarcerated.
They had Delta 8. Okay, so for those people that don't know, Delta 8, the only difference between Delta 8 and weed, if you see Delta 8 is weed, only it is derived from hemp. It's the THC ingredient or active ingredient in hemp, not cannabis. That's why they were calling it Delta 8, and that's why it was legal, is because it was not out of cannabis, it was out of hemp, okay? It was the same THC. So if you took a Delta 8 that you could get down at the local gas station, okay, it'd rock you just like you smoked a joint. I mean, it really would. And so they had Delta 8 at the bike shop down there whenever I was in North Carolina last week. And I was like, that's cool. You guys got some Delta 8 down here. I was like, I thought it was completely illegal, for everything. And they go, oh, it is. They said, if you've got anything on you, don't be smoking it out there in the woods. And I said, why? And they said, they'll take you to jail right on the spot. They said they are heavily against it down there in the Bible Belt, North Carolina Bible Belt like that. Mm-hmm. And then they also warned me on my e-bike, get it out of the forest. I was in a forest. I didn't know I would not have an e-bike. And they made me take it out of there. And you've seen my bike. I mean, it's not like it's got a throttle.
Right.
So, yeah, I mean, there's still some places, but now what they say, there's 37 out of 50 that are legal now.
Yep.
Well, you go south, you never know what you're going to run into. We went to Alabama a couple summers ago, and you can't even buy a lottery ticket in Alabama. Like, what the hell? It's for education. Maybe your kids could.
Hey, in Indiana, you can't buy cold beer in a gas station.
What the? Indiana's weird.
I couldn't buy Grizzly Mint I couldn't buy flavored tobacco north of New York.
Oh, my God.
They all straight.
Oh, my. That's interesting.
Indiana also canceled free lunch for kids once. So
did they?
They're nice people. Nice people over there.
Did you hear about the tobacco and vape flavor ban that they're trying to push? That's a real thing. Like,
I heard they're trying to get rid of menthol.
They're trying to get rid of anything with flavor. It's anything with flavor.
It's got to be natural.
No more Newports, man.
Well, yeah.
No more double O's.
No more cherry. No more mint. No more wintergreen. No more none of that.
Oh my God.
Yeah, they're wanting to do away with all that stuff because of the vapes. They think that'll stop the vape business.
Huh.
And they're there's always going to be somebody after the vapes. Have you watched that other Netflix series, Big Vape?
Nah, I haven't seen that.
It's about the vape industry and how it was started and everything. It's pretty neat.
That's another thing too. Like, people mix that up themselves. Like,
oh yeah.
Like, what the hell? Like, what?
Well, it seems like the vapes are really aren't they really penetrating the younger dynamic?
Yes,
there's really a lot of younger kids doing that. Like, we're back where we would experiment and smoke a cigarette or something. These dudes
or 20.
Yeah, or a whole pack.
Well, it's odorless.
Yeah. This they can just.
It looks like a jump
fired
drive.
up in their room. Yeah.
Yeah, that's what's happening. It looks like a
So that's the kind of shit we're going to be dealing with.
Yeah. No more mint.
Yeah, it smells like bananas in here.
all the fucking horror in the world, and we're worried about stupid shit. Like,
Yeah, I know.
I haven't seen anybody deal with a vape yet.
what do they say? Popcorn lung. You'll get the popcorn.
Oh yeah,
lung.
That was the
horrible,
big scare.
horror stories.
Horror
man.
stories.
Yeah.
I like popcorn.
I mean, they scare the shit right out of you with that, you know. But
You got anything else, Peters? About an hour and 10 in.
yeah,
Anything
man,
else
we've
you
had
want
a
to
good
tell
one.
them?
No,
Welcome back.
Thanks.
Now, are you going to make it back a little quicker next time? You think?
Not 3 years. I've asked you several
I've
times.
canceled
don't
lots of times.
Yeah,
on you
okay,
guys.
okay.
I? I've asked you a bunch.
Yeah, I've canceled a lot.
Yeah.
Well, we'll get back. Thanks for coming, man. That was fun.
Yeah. We got anything else we need to tell them?
No, I think we're good.
Like,
and subscribe.
Subscribe on the YouTube
Get
channel.
us
Yeah,
to
yeah,
1,000 followers on
Yeah,
YouTube
yeah.
for Christ's
How,
sake.
how many do you have?
680.
680.
I mean, it has been a slog. I mean,
Yeah. Yeah, but we haven't really pushed.
we haven't. We're now going to start pushing.
We're gonna start having some fun with it. We've been saying that, but we are. I'm about half retired.
Every
Yeah,
time.
Pudge is retired.
Tired. Yeah, I mean, I've heard.
Congratulations.
Congrats.
Thank you. It's not official yet. It'll be official about end of December.
All right.
I might as well go ahead and tell everybody.
Yeah.
I am shutting down Gillum Insurance.
Yeah.
So I do have another venture in the works. But
It's the
Now I don't
retirement
I don't even
costs.
have a freaking insurance agent, so I'm going to be a free agent.
I'm
here
sorry.
pretty soon.
Yeah, I'm sorry, man. It was just
You
time.
don't be sorry.
It's time to move. Hey, you know, it was a good fit while it lasted. It's time for me to move on.
Time to retire.
It's time to retire.
Yeah.
You know what? I am going to start living. I mean, I'm going to start pushing the envelope on, you know.
Well, we got to get this thing going too, man.
Yeah, we got to get this going. And I mean, you know, it was just a time in my life where I was able to do it, and I'm going to be happier, and I'm going to get off all the
Absolutely.
antidepressants, and I'm going to get off all that
Start
shit.
enjoying life.
I will enjoy
I
life.
missed you guys at the Apple Fest this year.
Yeah, we did.
Yeah.
We
You guys, you
our
let
ROI
a
on
lot
that.
of people down.
Our,
Just letting you know.
our ROI on that was not.
Yeah,
Yeah, it wasn't.
You're still paying it off, right?
yeah.
Well, not necessarily that. It was just it just really was. I mean, look, no disrespect to anybody involved. It just really wasn't not a beneficial thing for the Chubby guys.
Yeah, I mean, it was a fun
that's
week.
not to say we would never do it again.
Yeah, it was a fun
I mean,
week.
yeah, it was
but-
fun.
But to have a booth and
Yeah, you just need to be mobile.
Yeah.
it was just.
I don't know that we would do a booth again because the problem is like somebody's got to be there.
Yeah,
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah, I know. Yeah.
and I mean, you don't get anything from that.
Fun.
Yeah, but our fun was had out with the mic.
Yeah, out with the mic and coming back in
Yeah.
here with
Yeah.
the whiskey
yeah, with whiskey.
and a mic.
Yeah, yeah. Now that we may do.
Yeah.
We did the Apple Fest this year, and we have a mobile truck, but
Yeah.
we were too late to join up. So next year we're gonna bring
The
a
truck.
And then you
Wait.
don't have anything to set up or anything.
And I don't have to babysit anything,
yeah.
and I don't have to be there. You know, sun up to sundown
Yeah.
all week, and it's brutal.
Yeah,
I mean, it's beneficial.
If you're in Jackson, it's cool.
If
Yeah.
you got
Yeah.
a team, if you have a team.
if you have a
Yeah,
team, yeah.
yeah.
We had, it was me and him and Tyler and BJ last year, and I mean there was only 4 of us, and it just was not.
Just didn't work out.
Just didn't work out. I had to come in every night and bring everything in here.
Yeah.
Didn't I store your stuff or
Maybe-
something?
Yeah, well, you let us use the bathroom.
Yeah, I let every booth down through there
Clean
use the
bathrooms.
bathroom. You know,
Clean bathrooms.
and then got cussed at by the one.
Yeah. And that was kind of where it's like, you know,
Yeah.
we don't need this.
Yeah, we don't need that. So yeah, we was out, but it happens. But hey, hit the damn subscribe button.
Get us
Jackson.
on there.
Gee,
Let's get it.
Mash it.
Mash
Mash
your thumbs.
it.
Smash your thumbs. All right. See you.
Love you.